Hi everyone, today I want to talk to you about refund policies. It's a really quick live and I just want to cover a few things with you that will help you to decide whether or not you're actually doing business responsibly towards your clients, or whether you're actually exposing yourself to a certain amount of risk in running your business sustainably. Let me just stick my earphone in somewhere, which I forgot to do. Okay, so refund policies have been front of mind the last couple of weeks. I've had a number of inquiries and requests for information around refund policies and where they need to be in your business. So if you have a product or a service, you definitely need to have a refund policy in place. You are covered by consumer guarantees under Australian consumer law, and these guarantees are basically around ensuring that the customer or the client is protected if something goes wrong when they purchase from you. So if your service does not meet its description or your product is faulty, then really you do need to be looking at how it is you're going to manage a situation like that, which will inevitably result in a request for an explanation or a request for a refund or rectification. So what do you need to do? What are the consumer guarantees? So essentially they're outlined in Australian consumer law. You can find them on the ACCC page, and it's quite detailed into what is expected of you as the provider of a product or as the provider of a service. So if you do not, if a customer or a client is unhappy with the product or the service and it doesn't match description, or it doesn't match the details of the services that you may have advertised, then they are under consumer law entitled to ask for a refund, or they're entitled to cancel a service. So it is very wise then to have a refund policy in place. It's one of those things that you tend to overlook in the first days of business, but it very soon becomes something that you need to address. So your refund policy needs to sit within your client agreement or your service contract, or if you're if you're online and you're selling your products online, it needs to sit at the Pay Now button. Refund policies usually do not stand alone. They usually are part of a wider document that explains how to do business with you. So a good refund policy needs to have a few things in it that will really educate the client about when they can ask for a refund. You need, firstly, whatever policy you have, you need to actually comply with consumer law. It is against consumer law to have a blanket, not to have a refund. It is against consumer law to have a blanket policy that says no refunds. That you can't do that. You actually have to explain the situation in which a refund will be accepted or a refund will be considered. And if you're going to have a no refund policy, it will very much depend on the nature of the service that you are, or product, whether it's on sale or whether there are certain conditions attached to that purchase that makes a refund impossible. So the first thing a refund policy should do, it should comply with consumer law. So that the first thing is that you need to have one. You also need to state within the refund policy what reasons will be considered for refunds. You are not required to give a refund for a change of mind. So keep that in mind, but you do need to outline the reasons under which you will actually give a refund. So state the reasons that you will consider in your business, or for a refund. On what grounds will you consider a refund for a product, and on what grounds will you consider refund for a service that's been cancelled. The second things the second thing that you need to state, and it's very helpful for the consumer, is to state when these are not, or when a refund is not going to be available to you. So for example, some things are really hard to offer refunds for. Digital products are one, but at the same time that you can actually request, or there can be a case for a refund if in fact what you have purchased has not met what was described in the sales page. So you need to be very careful in the first instance that you are delivering what you're promising. At any time, if you're not delivering what you're promising, then you're exposing yourself to a breach of the consumer guarantees, and you may be required under consumer law to provide a refund. So number one, have regard to consumer law. Go onto the ACCC website and see it's detailed in quite a lot of detail what consumer guarantees are. Number two, state the reasons or the circumstances in which you will consider a refund. Be very clear about it. Number three, state the situations where you will not consider a refund. For example, a change of mind, or change of mind is common, but for example, if the product has been misused in any way, or any defect is not really a defect, and on inspection it could be something else. And how you determine all of that is also outlined in your wider agreement, so in your terms of sale or your client agreement. And finally, you need to outline the refund request process in your refund policy. So how do people ask for a refund? What's the procedure they follow? Do they email? How long will it take you to respond to them or to actually process a refund request? So, a refund policy is a really good tool in your business. It makes you think about how you do business. It makes you think about how you want to conduct the transactions that occur in your business. So I really highly recommend that you revisit your refund policy. It needs to be fair, it needs to be transparent, it needs to be compliant with consumer law, and it also needs to give your clients and consumers and customers enough information to make a decision about whether what they're seeking a refund for is actually falls within the policy or not. So that's all I have for you today. Sorry if I was looking all over the place. I'm trying out a new tripod and I don't really know where to look when I'm at the moment, so it's going to take a bit of practice. Have a good day, and I'll see you maybe next week. I'm traveling overseas, so maybe from some exotic location I will do my next live on some aspect of doing business really well. Have a great weekend and a great week, what's left of it, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye for now.